What does it feel like for you at this camp, knowing you have a spot on the roster?
I don't think like that, actually. It's a training camp where we're coming from a season where we didn't reach playoff with 1 point. And I think my main focus has been just to be as good as possible and be as ready as possible for the start of the season. Nothing has changed with my focus from there. So yeah, that's been the main thing. It's that's my focus been on.
What do you think when you are at your best? What does that look like?
Just it's tough to say. Just a good feeling all around the ice. I feel like I've been getting that lately. End of the season, I felt good. I felt confident. So I would say good confidence and just good position over the puck.
And Leslie, just looks like you've been skating with Jeff Petry so far. What do you like about that?
No, he's a great guy. We have a really good connection, both on the ice and off the ice. Of course, it's more to build on, but I feel like we can get a really, really good connection between us two, and yeah, complement each other pretty good.
Thanks, Sam.
Sam Stockton.
Simon, as you were kind of going into the offseason and reflecting on your experience at the end of last year, were there any particular takeaways you had from that kind of playoff push that you were talking about earlier?
Or it was a lot happened from me the last 2 months there. Both who go up in the game time with a lot depending on every game. It was just great experience. I think I know how hard it is to grab a playoff spot, and I know what it is that's needed from the whole team and from me personally to really grab that extra points at the end. And I think that's the biggest takeaway.
Mm-hmm. And as far as going into a new season, are you someone who sets sort of specific personal goals for yourself, whether it's, point totals, game played, whatever, or do you tend to be more abstract about that sort of thing?
I try to, of course, I want to stay healthy. I try to be as professional on the ice as off the ice and not get injured and try to play as many games as possible, but not with the points. Of course, I want to have a good season, but nothing that feels this is a goal that I have. Of course, reaching playoff, that would be it, and that's a pretty good goal, I think, to have.
Thank you.
Connor Eargan.
Hi, Simon. I want to go back to what you said about Jeff Petry. One thing I've noticed the past couple of days is he seems to be giving you a lot of pointers. You guys seem to be kind of talking shop a little bit, and I'm curious, like, outside of him just being your defense partner, how much of a mentor is he for you, kind of coming into the league and really learning from him?
No, as I said, I think we used to have a good connection off the ice. We go to dinners, we do stuff together, we probably go out fishing today. It's just those small things that gives you a good connection with your partner. And I think, of course, we talk a lot on the ice, what we can do better, what we can do different, and that's just, we don't seek it. We just feel the same thing, and that's what's good to have.
And to follow up on your call-up last season, what was the hardest thing you had to learn during that 14-game span?
Oh, I think just don't try to be the hero of the game. Opportunities gonna come to you, and I'm a defenseman. I'm gonna play strong D, and if the opportunity goes for forward and offensive, I'm gonna take it. So I think that was the main thing I took from it.
Thank you.
Max Pullman.
Hey, Simon, you've been at a couple of these training camps now. What have you taken away from those past, camps to apply this year?
Traverse City is a really nice place. That's one thing. No, but I think the difference from the last two to this one, I think it's just the intensity of the practice. You can see that it hurt for a lot of people last year to not reach the playoffs, and I think that's intensity. Just bring that out here for this training camp. It's a difference. Other than that, same structure and just keep on going with what we're good at.
How much was that on your mind this summer as you trained, and what'd you kind of focus on to get there this time?
Oh, it was painful. Of course, that was a motivation thing where you work out and you go on the ice. You think of that extra point there, and I think a lot of guys did that. Train a lot with Ray, and I think he had the same feeling about that. And it was just, yeah, of course it sucked, but I think it was a good thing to just have that back in your head when you did those extra workout things.
And then I think I saw you were listed a little heavier this time around. Was that a focus for you to put on some more muscle there?
No, it was just a lot of avocados. I got some dietitian things from Lisa, so a little bit heavier, and I feel good about that.
Thanks, Sam.
Bob Duff.
Simon, the theory is that of all the positions on the ice, the hardest one to make the adjustment to the NHL's defense, because you've got so much responsibility both offensively and defensively. And I would think another element of that is like there's no Connor McDavid's or Sidney Crosby's in the AHL. Like, what's the adjustment like when you come up and have to face and defend an elite player like that?
You have to know who you play against more in the NHL. Of course, you play Crosby and you play McKinnon and you play those guys, and they are in a different level. So you have to know where and how they gonna play, and you have to like be a little bit more on your toes. I would say that. I really don't know how to explain it. It's just different from the other players, maybe. Of course, everybody's good on something, and those guys are, elite players.
I also wanted to ask you about, you've obviously played a lot with him. Give me kind of a scouting report on Albert Johansson. What makes him an effective player?
First of all, great guy. He also been working hard this summer. He's a steady defenseman, and I really like how he plays. We played a lot in GR. We had good chemistry there, and I really like him as a player.
Thank you.
Kevin Allen.
Yes, Simon, if I could just follow up a little bit on Bob's question. When you talked about Johansson, you mentioned that what a steady player is. And most scouts, that's what they talk about, is steadiness. He's good defensively. But is he a little underrated with handling the puck? When I watched him, he seems to get the puck out of trouble by handling it pretty well. Is he an effective puck handler as well? Yeah,
of course, he's a skilled player. Even in Sweden when he played, and over here he's been good with the puck. Good hands, good vision. No, as I said, he's a good player. I think he's good all around, actually. So no, I really like how he plays, and I like playing with him as well.
And obviously you played with a couple of other guys in Grand Rapids that are going to be pushing for a spot on the Red Wings this year and stuff. Can you talk a little bit about Mazur? And he's not a giant guy, but he plays a pretty hard, rugged game, in addition to being, having a scoring touch.
Mace, great hockey player as well. He works hard every game. He great handles with the puck. He's smart, and he doesn't back off from the hard duels. So now, of course, it's a lot of players that's been standing out and a lot of players that try to push, and that's just great. It's what we need for them to really take the step. It's great.
And then finally, just Berggren, you know, it's a tough season for him last year because he played so well down in Grand Rapids, but for a variety of reasons, he never really got an opportunity in Detroit. Do you think that, you know, what happened last year just adds another layer of motivation for him to come up this season and kind of improve what he can do?
Yeah, as you said, I think the number speaks for itself. He had a great season in GR. He's a great player all around in general as well. I think even though I think he had those good numbers, I think he learned a lot last year as well. And I think he's gonna show that here. So I think he's gonna have a good camp, and I think he's gonna show his best here.
Thank you very much, Simon.
Last question, Jonathan Mills.
Hey, Simon, this seems and feels like a really tight-knit group with a lot of guys returning. How important is accountability going to be for guys to hold each other to that standard that's being set right now?
It's huge. You want to set an environment here that is, you come into the ring, you work hard, you give your best, you try to be better every day. And that's something that the leaders and everybody around the team try to push on. It's every puck duel, it's a fighting, and you better you do that here, you bet your team it's gonna be for the start of the season. I think that's huge. So
Thanks, Simon.
All right. Thanks, Simon.
Thanks.